Hey crafty people, welcome back to my channel, and in case you're new here, I'm Sarah, also known as Craft Nerd because I'm a nerd who loves to craft. I do paper crafting, card making, junk journaling, and mixed media art. Let's get crafting! Oh, welcome back. So we have been making a whole bunch of tags and journaling cards, so now we need to make some pockets for them to go into. And this was inspired by a video by Shabby Dabby Doodah where she used book page and digitals and then like roughly ripped out like an oval shape to create a windowed pocket. Let's just grab. So you'll be able to see what's on whatever goes in the pocket. And I thought, I liked the idea, but I was like, ooh, what if we did it so it looked like butterflies were escaping out the hole? So this is my version, and I sized these to go along with most of the tags I've been making have been about 3 inches wide and 6 inches high. So I made them 3.5 inches wide so I wouldn't have to fight with getting them in and out, and then 6 inches deep. Probably should have gone a little shallower, but I can always tweak that later. Add a notch or put tabs on top of whatever goes in the pocket. So that's what we are going to be creating. And I've done some prep work. So I've got my printables, and of course right now as I sit here I'm like, crap, I don't remember who this one was by, so I'll leave it listed down below. This one I know is on my Porch Prints. These are the same, by the same person, but I don't remember who that person is right now. This is the My Porch Prints. Let's pair everybody up how they're supposed to go. And I'm missing some because I should have some green. All right, give me a minute. Let me find what I'm missing. This is My Porch Prints, and this is Ink and Page. And this is from the same digital as that. And I'm so sorry that I cannot remember who it is. I'll probably pop it up on the screen. But that's what we're gonna do. And let's go through and I will explain the process for how I made these. So I cut my piece of book page to a little over 6 so that I could fold down the top edge to give it a little bit of a sturdier edge since we're going to be putting things in and out of the pocket. Since I'm planning on gluing these onto a page, I'm not all that concerned that this is not the heaviest of paper. And then did it at 3.5 inches wide. For these pieces, I cut them 4 inches by 6.5, and you're going to see why in a sec. So I'm going to grab my scoreboard, and we are going to score everybody. And what I'm going to do is score 1/4 of an inch from the top so I can fold it over and have a more finished edge and reinforce that edge since, again, we're going to be pulling things in and out of the pocket. I'm going to score that at 4 inches, or at 1/4 of an inch. Whew. So I'm going to score, again, 1/4 inch on all of my sides. Oops. So pretty much I'm just scoring 1/4 inch all around, and I'm doing this in the hopes of getting a straighter fold than if I just tried to fold it over a little bit on my own. And by doing this, we're creating a gusseted pocket so that all of the space will be available for our pocket instead of losing some space to our glue lines. So we're gonna fold all of the lines over. Fold our bottom up and our top down. And when you do that, you get little squares at each of your corners. You're going to want to cut those away, and so you can see it better on screen. So we've got this. We don't need that. It's just going to add extra bulk. I also like to cut it at a little bit of an angle because it makes it neater when you go to fold. You don't have to worry about adding bulk. I just dropped that pencil by missing the holder and it's on the floor, and I'm gonna have to go pick that up. Otherwise my dog will try and eat it because he likes to eat pencils, as illustrated by this one. And so we're gonna take away those squares at all 4 of our corners. Move this out of the way. I'm gonna erase my notes from the back, because what we need to do next is I'm using a die I have for creating ovals. You can just freehand your oval. You can do a circle if you'd rather, or a square. It's completely up to you. I'm just gonna kind of freehand or use my die as a stencil essentially to trace around. And then I'm gonna stick my scissors in to get it started. And just gonna put some starter rips in, and then what I'm gonna do is rip to my line-ish. Then I'm gonna do another piece down here, go roughly to the line that I drew, which hopefully you can see. Hopefully drew it dark enough. And if I hit a spot where it's curving and I'm having trouble kind of getting to the line, I just add another rip in. Because it just needs to be roughly oval shape. Actually, it doesn't need to be roughly any shape. It's completely up to you, but I'm going for roughly oval. Okay that it went a little over. It's not a big deal. This one, a little bit of a tear in there. So that gives us our opening. Now, since I didn't put anything on the back, I'm gonna close my window back up and grab some ink and ink that up. And I think I'm gonna do some antique linen. Scrap a piece of paper down so that I don't get it on my mat. I didn't quite erase those numbers well enough, and of course they're right where I've got an opening. Try and get a little bit more off. I think that's about as good as I'm gonna get it. All right. Now I'm also gonna do, I think I'm gonna grab some lumberjack plaid distress oxide. Actually, you know what? I think we'll do fired brick. I think that'll go a little bit better. That's a little more orange than I was hoping for. Let's see how we like it. Actually, it works pretty good with the colors. All right. And then the next step is to take a dauber and ink all of our edges so we get rid of all the white. And I think I'm just gonna go vintage photo. found the easiest way to do that is to kind of fold it back in and then ink. Okay, now we need a piece of acetate. I'm just going to use some packaging from some craft project product I bought. Let's grab scissors. Sticky strip. Split it open. Figure out about how big a piece I need. Now I'm gonna make it taller than I need so that I can tuck the edge of it under this when we fold it over, so then we don't have to worry about whatever we put in the pocket possibly catching. So that should be big enough. Yes. Too big. It's a little too big. That fits. All right, we're gonna glue this on. And sometimes it can be a little fussy with the glue. So I'm just gonna add some tape to make sure it's stuck down. Now we're gonna glue that section down over top so it's covering the top of our piece of acetate. Let's give it a sec to get it all nice and dry. And then we're going to take our book page and we're going to glue the bit I folded down on the top over. And then it's gonna go inside. And I swear every single time I do one of these, I realize I should cut this a hair narrower so that it fits better. And I'm gonna need to trim a hair off the bottom. And now we can stick it in and glue our tabs down. Because it shifted over a little when I glued the bottom down, so that I can fold this one down. Let's try that again. Now we're gonna pull our pieces open, and to keep them open, we're just gonna glue them down, and anywhere we see that needs ink, we'll just come in and add a little ink. And you can curl pieces under. I think I'm gonna do on this piece, add a little glue here. Here we go. This one I'll just put a little glue on the tip there to glue that down. That did not work at all. Just trying to glue the rolled part to itself and didn't manage that at all. All right, we're gonna hold that down for a sec. Move this one down. That one down. Oops, dropping things all over the place. Glue that one down. And for some of them, what I'll do is I'll just rip a piece off, ink the new edge, and glue it down like that. Especially the ones that are like going past the edge of the pocket. So there we go. Whoop. Hold that down for a sec. That one's ready for decorating. And I think what we're gonna do is kind of assembly line these now and get the rest of them to this stage, and then maybe we'll add butterflies to at least one of them. I'm not sure I have enough butterflies in this color to work for that one. All right, so let's go ahead and do all of our scoring. And so we're going to score a quarter of an inch all around the piece, and I score on this side because I find it just easier than trying to get my hand in there. I don't know why on this one I always seem to go kind of off. sandpaper trimmer and trim that little bit off on all of the book pages so that we don't have to deal with that again. Just gonna take that sliver off. And these book pages I just used for cleanup when inking, and so that's why they're so brightly colored. You, of course, could use just plain book page for them. And I thought about doing that, but I was like, I've got all of these inky book pages. I should use them. Because I just keep making more inky book pages every time I do something inky. I'm becoming overrun with inky paper. Now let's trace all of our circles or ovals or whatever you're using. You know what, let's mix it up a little bit. That's a little too wide. That'll work. And I'm just doing this to kind of give myself a guide for when I'm ripping. That seems a little large. What I may do is come down here, come down there. So yeah, I could basically just too wide, and you're not going to see in the pocket, so that's fine. Let's do oval, and I'm just doing them kind of center-ish. You could of course change where you locate it. If say there was something on here kind of like that, I could move it up a little higher, although it's going to end up folding down over there anyway, so let's just go ahead and do that one in the center too. And let's do another rectangle-y one. All right, so next step is we poke a hole. Kind of use the scissors to help me get the rips started. I really should ink before I start tearing, but I never remember. Let's see how, this is the first time I've done a rectangle one. Let's see how this looks. Not bad. All right, we're gonna do all the inking at once, so actually, while we're thinking about it, let's go ahead and ink these guys before we rip them. Since I just said I should be inking before I rip. All right, all of them are gonna get a little antique linen. one is green. So let's grab a green brush and some shabby shutters. Yellow. Grabbing mustard seed. This is the pink. I'm trying to decide what pink I want to do, and I think Victorian Velvet Oxide will work best. So we've got blue. This one I'm going to do peacock feathers, and this one I'm going to do broken china. Let's start with the broken china one. Actually, we're going to go tumbled glass because I grabbed that one first. And last but not least, orange, and I'll grab some spiced marmalade. All right, so I think I'm gonna do one more on camera showing you the process of ripping it open, and then I'll do the rest of the ripping off camera, because I don't know that you need to see me rip 4 more. Maybe I'll do the square one too, so we can see how that one goes. And the reason I'm tearing instead of using like my scissors or a blade to cut this open is it just doesn't give that the right look if you cut it. And the reason I know is because that's what I thought I should do, and did that for the first one, where I kind of cut an X out and then figured I'd rip the rest of it, and it just didn't look right, so I ended up just ripping it out. Because yeah, my vision for the exploding open pocket did not look right. So yeah, and I think I'm definitely going to be pulling in some like dried marigold to tweak this color, because it's looking way too yellowy against those guys. All right, where's the square-ish one? This one. All right. There we go. All right, I am going to go ahead and rip out these guys and ink all of our edges of our tears, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I had a bit of a recording mishap and ended up assembling these guys and doing all of the fold backs and stuff. And I didn't record it, but I did have one left, so we're gonna assemble this one together. And this one I did a little bit different than these other ones. Actually, I did it like this. I'm gonna do it like this one, but different from these. So these we folded over the top of our book page to give it a sturdier top at the opening of our pocket. But this book page, which is my antique Shakespeare, Much Ado About Nothing, is extremely fragile and brittle, and if I bend it, it will crack and break. So instead of folding it over to strengthen the top, we're just gonna add a little bit of washi, and I'm gonna run just a little bit of glue because washi tape is not intended to be permanent, so it needs a little bit of help to stay stuck down. I'll just run a little bit of washi across the top. And I'm overhanging the top of my page because I'm going to fold it over, and that'll just reinforce the top of this book page since it is going to be the opening of a pocket. Now you, of course, if you wanted to, could layer a couple pieces of book page together to strengthen it. I'm pretty sure that's what Tina at Shabby Dabby Doodah did in the inspiration video. But I figured if I'm gonna glue, if my plan is to glue these onto pages, not have them freestanding, I don't really need to waste a book page by layering it up when it'll be glued down flat on a page. All right, so let's go ahead and do the assembly on this guy. Explodey bits. It's been a few days since I started this video, and I don't know if I did any of these on camera. So this is pretty much what I have been doing. Is for some of them, I'll put a little glue here, and instead of pulling it all the way out, I'll bunch it up a little so that we get some more dimension to our exploding outward bit. And some I'll just put closer, further out so that they're a little flatter. But I like giving it a little bit of curve. And if it's too long, like this one's too long, I'll come in and tear it off and then grab a dauber and re-ink the edge. And then glue it down. Now we need to decorate them with some butterflies escaping out of our window. Blue butterflies. Hopefully I've got enough blue butterflies left. I don't know that I have enough blue butterflies left. I'm definitely gonna need more butterflies. I like him there. I'm not necessarily going to glue the wings all the way down because that gives them a little bit more movement. big. I was thinking about adding him so that we have like a larger butterfly coming out, but no, he's too big. All right, bring over our yellow. Hopefully we have yellow butterflies, aplenty. Let's make some decisions here. It's a little delicate, so I want to make sure it's glued somewhere where it has like something underneath it, and it's actually, let's do that there so he's escaping out. Stick that one back over here because I kind of like that one there. All right, I think that's good. Let's glue these guys down. Now for the wax paper ones, I'm going to use my Pearly Arts glue, which works just a pinch better with vellum and clear things than the art glitter glue. There we go, that one's done. Okay, so I went ahead and pulled out more butterflies for the rest of our pieces. Let's see if we can pop out. Yep. Just popping out the bits that didn't come out when the die cut. And I probably should lay them out and decide where everyone's going before I start gluing, but I'm just gonna start gluing. Because why not? Instead of switching back and forth between art glitter glue and Pearly Arts glue, I'm just going to use my Pearly Arts glue. I think I'm going to glue that one kind of on the window and coming off the window. That one is ready to go. That one's done. And we're gonna decorate one more because I need more blah, blah, blah. I need more blue butterflies before I can do this one. And this one, I didn't have too many butterflies, so I thought let's have some like flowers exploding out of the pocket and kind of go like that. So they're kind of just tucked under a little and sticking out. This is another way you could decorate your exploding pockets. Let's edit this. Cut that leaf off, cut that bit off, and glue it kind of on top of that to give it a little bit more interest. That one's done, and that's all the ones we're going to decorate now because I need more blue flower or blue butterflies. So we got this one done, and this one, and this one, and that one. And we've got this one assembled but not decorated yet. And that one decorated. And we decorated this one. And this guy was my sample and the inspiration. So there we go, exploding window pockets. And that's all for today. So if you enjoyed this video, please do all the things that lets YouTube know you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment down below. Thanks for joining me, and happy crafting.